Institute of Technology Guwahati, since its inception, has steadily grown to be the ambassador of research and development in northeastern India. The institute has played a key role in providing leadership in translational research and has helped the Northeast claim a prominent position in the global platform. As India marks 75 years of independence and celebrates Hazarika Amrit Mahotsav, Indian Institute of Technology Guwahati proposes to organize the Northeastern Research Conclave. Under the exemplary vision of the Honorable Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, the Northeast Research Conclave is one of its kind and the biggest conclave that has ever been organized in the Northeast in the field of research and development.
It gives me great pleasure to inform you that under the Chief Patronship of Honorable Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Sri Dharmendra Pradhanji, and Co-Chief Patron, the Chief Minister of our Government of Assam, Sri Himanta Biswa Sharma ji, under their guidance, Northeast Research Conclave 2022 is being organized at Indian Institute of Technology Guwahati during 20th to 22nd of May 2022.
IITGuwahati conducted the roadshow across Northeast India to increase awareness among the various institutes in the region. The mission of this conclave is to showcase the best research and development activities from all the educational and research institutes across the states of Northeast India.
It is pleasure for all of us that IIT Guwahati is organizing Northeast Research Conclave.
NERC 2022 is looking forward to host nearly 3,000 participants across the 8 states of NE and other parts of India.
I am sure this will create some synergy which will lead to very good results.
I believe that the impact of this conclave would greatly enhance to empower the R&D manifestation.
I am sure that this particular event will be triggering the scientific temper and passion among the people who are already doing science as well as the people who are about to decide in which career that they would like to take.
Northeast Research Conclave NERC-2022 is set to offer the best platform for academia as well as industry.
I'm very happy because we are partners here and this was a long-awaited program.
And this event, I believe, will provide an adequate platform for all the researchers, academicians, professionals, startup entrepreneurs who are working in the field of science and technology development.
The conclave is expected to benefit all in terms of setting up of long-term collaboration.
It's a matter of pride that the IIT Guwahati has been given the mandate.
It is a mutual benefit for every institute as well as society also.
The main motto of this conclave to enhance industry academia.
We pay enormous gratitude to all the stakeholders for participating and making this conclave a reality in such a short notice and helping the country achieve the deliverables on the Sustainable Development Goals. We would like to thank our Chief Patron, Honorable Education Minister Sri Dharmendra Pradhan, Honorable Chief Minister of Assam Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, Professor T.G. Sitaram, Director IIT Guwahati for the support and encouragement, and Professor Vimal Katiyar, Dean Research and Development for tirelessly and painstakingly piloting this event and making it a reality. The Northeast Research Conclave is the call of the hour and IIT Guwahati is committed to successfully organizing the event to boost the research and development activities in Northeast India, which is pivotal for its growth in the future.
Good evening, everyone in the audience. So, sorry for the delay for this valedictory session. So, a warm welcome to all the dignitaries and audience present here. We gathered here for the valedictory session of Northeast Research Conclave 2022 and Assam Biotech Conclave 2022. So, we would like the honorable dignitaries in the dais. Okay. So, we would like to welcome our honorable dignitaries in the dais. So, our honorable dignitary is, our today's chief guest is Shri Lokranjan, IAS Secretary, Ministry of Donor, Government of India. I would also like to invite Sri Kailash Karthik, District Commissioner, Kamrup, and Chairperson of Assam Biotech Conclave 2022. Now I would request Professor T.G. Sitaram, Director IIT-Guwahati, Chairman NERC 2022, to felicitate today's chief guest, Sri Lokranjan, IAS Secretary, Ministry of Donor, Government of India.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor Vimal Katiyar, Dean of Research and Development, IIT-Guwahati, to felicitate Sri Kailash Karthik, District Commissioner of Kamrup and Chairperson of Assam Biotech Conclave 2022. Now I request Professor T.G. Sitaram, Director, IIT-Guwahati and Chairman, Northeast Research Conclave 2022, to address the gathering.
Namaskar. Today's chief guest, Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Donor, Sri Lokranjanji, Sri Kailash Karthik, Deputy Commissioner Kamrup, co-convener of the Northeast Research Conclave 2022, my colleague, Professor Vimal Katiyar, convener, Northeast Research Conclave 2022, and also the Dean of Research and Development at IIT-Guwahati. Professor Subhendu Sekhar Bagh, the co-convener for the Northeast Research Conclave 2022, and all my colleagues, research scholars, my dear students, and all the delegates from different institutions, directors, vice chancellors of the institutes from Northeast India, industry representatives, startup ventures, CEOs, and all the delegates. A warm welcome to this closing ceremony of the Northeast Research Conclave 2022 and also Assam Biotech Conclave 2022, which we had jointly in collaboration with Government of Assam. I'm really overwhelmed to witness the huge response from the delegates and participants, both to our conference as well as to the exhibition. And I'm very sure, I think all of you would have liked it, because I went actually even today at 3 o'clock, the exhibition was full. So let us congratulate all the exhibitors for doing a fantastic job putting up the show. And also we should thank the weather god. It was so kind. And all the 3 days, we had a very bright sun and beautiful weather. And so children can enjoy their stay and their visit to the exhibition hall. On behalf of IITGuwahati, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you to this valedictory function of the Northeast Research Conclave. Our aim was to boost research ecosystem in the Northeastern region, along with skill development for youth, teachers, and researchers. And I even mentioned in my inaugural speech that this event is a magic carpet event. Why I said that was, in a fantasy fiction, a magic carpet takes instantaneously wherever you would like to go. It's an imagination. But today, I think we have fulfilled that dream of a magic carpet event through our NERC, taking R&D to the nook and corner of the northeastern states. So it is really good to present that view to the secretary donor who is responsible for all the northeastern region. So thank you very much, sir, for coming to this valedictory function and being with us. I think you could witness, how IITGuwahati has tried to put together an event which impacted the all the 7 sister states of the Northeast and Sikkim, which is a sort of called as a brother state. 8 states, and we had representation to this event from all the 8 states. I think all of my colleagues will agree that research brings in change through a generation of profound or a disruptive knowledge. And with the consumption of that knowledge, the important thing is to bring the socio-economic change. For this region, with a focus on innovation, startup, and entrepreneurship. We see that quite elaborately both at Guwahati Biotech Park as well as in BioNest and also many other activities and presentation throughout the conference. So we had a huge footfall for our exhibition. Still we are really not estimated what is the kind of numbers we are getting. What I heard was the food plates, 6,000 plus every day. But I feel it will be much more than that because the children who have come, it's quite large. I was seeing the crowds just morning, afternoon, and evening. So that could be a very large number. So soon we will estimate and maybe report that to all of you. But what we know for the fact is more than 300 plus stalls and pavilions showcasing research and innovation. And even we had given spaces for the self-help groups to display their products so that people will have a glimpse of that as well. This event has actually, I can confidently tell you, the sensitized the research ethos among the school children in the entire Northeast. This will definitely pave the roadway, R&D roadmap of the northeastern region through these young children getting into these programs. They also got a glimpse of what is an IIT like. So earlier, it was also a dream for them to get into the portals of IIT. So we could see, I heard from my colleagues who spent 20 and odd years at Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, there was never such an event before in the history of Indian Institute of Technology. Please give a big applause to all the volunteers, delegates, organizers for this event. So we have come to an end of the conclave. We should also think about what next. How does this Northeastern Research Conclave 2020 will take us to the next level? That's where, we clearly told you that we will have a declaration, and we named it as Guwahati Declaration under the advice of the Honorable Minister of Education, Sri Dharmendra Pradhanji, and also the Honorable Minister, Chief Minister of Government of Assam, Sri Himanta Biswa Sharma ji. So today we are going to come out with a roadmap of how this research conclave will emerge or change the scenario of R&D ecosystem in the Northeast. In addition to that, startup entrepreneurial activities, how to augment them. Friends, this area Northeastern region is turning out to be a very important region of the country through the Act East policy of the Government of India. And as you all know, we are bounded by 98% of the boundary length, an international boundary. Only 2% near Siliguri is connected to the mainland. However, there is a great potential of more than 35 crore of people, including populations in Myanmar, Bangladesh, and Bhutan, which could be affected by this research and development ecosystem. It can create enchanting opportunities and simultaneously provide plethora of unique unexploited challenges also, which is there in the Northeast, which can trigger new innovations and new startups in these areas, which is very relevant to the Northeastern region and the people of the Northeastern India. And I am very sure that you had heard many speakers, experts, where they talked about the research and development for the holistic growth of this region. As I told you, there are many institutions which we came to know through our interactions, which we never really tried to interact with them earlier. It could be ministries, Ministry of Petroleum and Chemicals, and it could be, we only knew about CSIR and DST institution, but there are so many, 40 and odd directors and vice chancellor we have interacted only with the research groups of the ministry, several ministries in the region, other than many universities and then research labs which existed. It's an excellent time for us to come together for the entire northeastern states to look at the innovations in the field of science and technology, biodiversity, organic farming, renewable energy, nanotechnology, petrochemical refining, flora and food industry, tea sector. There is enough opportunities for everyone in this region to do their own innovations, so that, and also their own startups, to forge closer ties with industry and MSMEs, to lead this region, northeastern region, towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. This can give a fantastic, opportunity for the entire India, not only to the entire India, to the whole world. So that such great potential we have seen through the exhibitions of the products. Please give them a big applaud to all the all the people who displayed their contributions and innovations. So I am very sure that this region will become a favorite destination for research and development, through which many more innovations will happen and many startups and entrepreneurial activities will also pave the way for the next generation. So I am very you have seen that many objectives what we put forth in the beginning of the conference were, I feel, are fulfilled. Some of them which we can proudly say are to boost the research ecosystem in the northeastern region. We have made an attempt to bring together everybody. This is a networking event, more than you listening to the lectures. So we came to know each other. So now we can start work together. And that's the one objective we have really fulfilled through this event. The next one, and I think there is a great potential for augmenting the skill development in some of these very high-tech areas for youth, teachers, and researchers. We saw the great potential. So we can handhold many of the technical institutions and non-technical institutions, and as well as high school teachers. So there are so many opportunities we came through because of the interaction with the government, local government, central government, and public sector organization, industries, as well as universities and research laboratories. We also see a great opportunity for nurturing entrepreneurship. And we also saw a great opportunity for promoting startups and also hand-holding MSMEs and many other companies. One other very interesting event we organized is the Women in R&D. It's a very important for us to integrate that, because that will bring in many more rich contribution from women in the Northeast. And also we saw a great collaboration with the Indian Army, through defense. Many of us actually went to that army display stalls, and we were very proud to see some of those key weapons which has been displayed by the army for us. So first of all, I'm very grateful to several ministers came to our event, so I don't want to name each one of them. However, I would like to say thanks to our Honorable Union Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship for believing in us and asking us in a very short time, and also putting us in the midst of the monsoon. May 20th was given the date, but we somehow were able to pull through, even though the last full week was full of rains. But these 3 days was fantastic weather. So thank you. I hope all of you enjoyed that. I'm also thankful to the Union Minister of Education and also the Science, Technology and Climate Change Department of Government of Assam. And in particular, I would like to thank Deputy Commissioner Kamrup. He was there as if it was entire event was all the time he was there with us. And that gave a great boost for us. So thank you, Kailash. It was really appreciated, your time, your effort, and also your activities, bringing in entire team from the Kamrup administration to IIT-Guwahati. I must congratulate the convener, Professor Vimal Katiyar, and Subhendu Shekhar Bagh, tirelessly worked with the entire team. I know there are a lot of people behind them, but every item was impeccably planned, executed with perfection, to the perfection, and today we have come to the end of the program without any issues or challenges, because of such a fantastic arrangement, without any help from any professional group which can manage the conference event. I will also like to thank Professor Dikshit for putting lot of effort in putting the technical program, and I think his job is not yet completely done. He has to bring out that 16 volumes in Springer, 16 tracks, that's a great job with all the team. And I think then, that actually fulfills a conference, organization of the conference wherein you can contribute, and all our researchers will have a Scopus indexed paper for their, kitty. So I again warm welcome to all of you for this closing function. I remember this is a welcome message to you. And I thank once again the chief guest, Secretary Donor, Sri Lokranjan, and also Sri Kailash Karthik, Deputy Commissioner, and Vimal Katiyar for this function. We're all part of this historic moment, which we will remember in the history of Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. I know our Honorable Minister has given a big responsibility. He says every year he wants it. So that's going to be a big task. So anyway, we will discuss with him. We will debate with him how we can do this in the future. But definitely we will not do this in the month of May. We will maybe shift it either to March or maybe later on. So that would be a good time for organizing these kind of events in Guwahati. Dhanyavad. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for addressing and enlightening us. Now I request Professor Vimal Katiyar, Dean of Research and Development, IIT Guwahati, and convener of NERC 2022, to share his views about NERC 2022.
Respected Chief Guest of today's function, Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Donor, Sri Lokranjan ji, and respected Professor T.G. Sitaram, Director, IIT Guwahati, and Chairman of Northeast Research Conclave 2022, Sri Kailash Karthik ji, Deputy Commissioner Kamrup, and co-convener of Northeast Research Conclave 2022, and also Chairman of Assam Biotech Conclave 2022, my dear colleague Professor S.S. Bagsi, co-convener NERC 2022. I would like to tell you it cannot be reached to this level the way he helped me. So I take this opportunity even in the beginning to tell you. So I wish good afternoon to all the dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and to all the delegate participants who are all gathered here in the valedictory session. I feel happy to address you all summary of the various events conducted as a part of NERC 2022. The conclave was inaugurated by Honorable Union Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Sri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, in the presence of Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Dr. Himant Viswa Sharma ji. The inauguration ceremony was also graced by Honorable Minister of State for Education, Dr. Subhash Sarkar ji, and Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh ji. Honorable Minister of Education, Government of Assam, Dr. Ranoj Pegu ji, Sri Keshav Mohanta ji, Honorable Minister of Health, Government of Assam, Sri Sarvanand Sonowal ji, Honorable Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways and Ayush, Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Sri Rameshwar Teli ji, Honorable Minister of Forest and Mining and Science and Technology, Sikkim, Sri Karmal Lodi Bhutia ji, and Honorable Member of Parliament, Queen Oja ji. During the inauguration session, MOU was signed between the Government of India, Government of Assam, and IIT Guwahati related to establishment of the high-end and advanced medical research center at IIT Guwahati. Following this, the NERC was formally declared as open by Sri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, a Union Minister of Education. There were participant and presentation by 7 IIT. In the Northeast, we have one IIT at IIT Guwahati, but it's not us. Other IIT also partnering us, and they have shown their presence here. 10 NITs, number you can see that we have 8 NITs, but the number is more here. 7 triple IIT is also part of it. CFTI institutions, 23 CFTI institutions. And I'm very happy to tell you the many research laboratory was the part of it, like DBT, DST, CSIR, DSIR, DRDO, ISRO, T Research Board, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Pharmaceuticals, Ministry of Handloom and Technology, and many more. So this shows the participation from the various institutions itself shows the importance of this kind of the activity. And as our Honorable Union Minister Sir has said, that it has to be an annual function. Where it will be, that is different. The fact is that it has to be. If you really would like to nurture the R&D ecosystem of the Northeast, and so this kind of the event is really timely, and it has to be happen in a regular interval of time. So I would like to tell you, the NERC hosted over 6,000 participants from all across the northeastern state, as well as other part of the country. There were more than 200 invited dignitaries from different ministries, secretariats, and officials of various government organizations, panelists and keynote speakers who have participated. More than 2,500 school children, I need applause for the school children, 2,500 students, they have witnessed this event, and we really would like to nurture our future R&D, and we really felt that certainly these students going to be someday in these institutions, and will be really feel proud when they will be really going to come and say that they came first time at the NERC 2022, now they are here because of it. So that's what our dream, our bringing those small school kids to this function, and we are very overwhelmed that they have enjoyed during the whole 3 days. So, and not only the students, but also we handhold the teachers. So more than 200 teachers from the different schools, with the help of Royal Society of Chemistry, we have organized teachers training sessions, and the purpose was that to bring them closer, because if we really would like to see a effective research ecosystem, then it has to be inculcated from the schools. And innovation should come from the schools so that we could able to see the great researcher in the coming future. With this motive, we started the teacher training program, and it was a huge success, and we'll continue this. So apart from this, the NERC 2022 was graced by 3,000 participants from the different higher educational institution, research institution. We hosted an exhibition event, which was inaugurated by, again, our Honorable Minister of Education, Dharmendra Pradhanji. And I thanks to all the participants, more than, in fact, 700 participants. Somehow, we managed the 300 stalls, but at that end of the days, we really found that some of the stalls was shared. And I'm really very sorry, next time we will be going to have more this number, because now we really found out the potential of the Northeast and the enthusiasm from all the institutions and the organizations across the Northeast. So we'll be going to take care of it, and we'll be going to have a better than this next time. So more than 100 industries, startups, grassroots innovators, exhibitors, their innovations and product were exhibited during the session. The conclave was also hosted an exhibition stall from academic institutions for more than 100. And they showcased their translational research. That is what we really want. We really do. We have to have a fundamental research, but now it's a time to have the translational research, and the research should be meaningful. It should reach to the public. It has to be a user-driven research. That is, I think, very important in the today's context. So as I mentioned you, the event Inspirational Science for Northeast region for school children and creating skillful educator were also be organized in the NERC 2022, along with the RSC, the Royal Society of Chemistry, to ignite the young minds and to create leadership. NERC 2022 also organized the 16 parallel technical sessions. That is what the backbone of the institution like us. And I really found enthusiasm, I mean to say, more than 600 oral presentations and around 1,000 poster presentations were witnessed during this. And I, in fact, congratulate all the participants, especially those who have showcased the great, I mean to say, the work, what they are doing it in their laboratories. Now it's very important that it has to showcase, it has to disseminate. Otherwise, keeping the research inside it may not be fruitful. So, and further, the 6 brainstorming and panel discussion sessions where elaborated discussions were formed on the various policy-making decisions for the betterment of the Northeast region with the goal towards the sustainable development was happened. And it's a matter of pride that we have dedicated one session that women's in R&D for emphasizing the women empowerment and the fact that we really felt there is a lot of contribution is there, but we really need a equal contribution of our women faculty members and the researchers, that they should come forward in the R&D. That's very much important in order to make this nation a great nation and to improve further the GDP. We conducted a ministerial meeting that was a part of the NERC, in which the interaction of Honorable Minister with the head of the institution, head of the academic institution, as well as research institutions was happened. Sir, I would like to tell you that we have discussed about the NEP 2020, R&D networking in the higher education in the Northeast, cluster universities, National Research Foundation activities in Northeast, teachers training and education in a higher education system, skill development and promoting startup and entrepreneurship. So alongside with the NERC 2022, several articulating events has happened that was organized by the Assam Biotech Conclave. And more importantly, I would like to say that we found, we got a very huge response from our industry partners. And they have also showcased it is not just only the exhibition from the industry, but we witnessed they also contributing towards the research. It is not that the academic institution is participating, but the industries are also doing a very good research, and now it's a time when we have to join hands together and to come up, and that can make and utilize both the side facilities, which academic institution having facilities as well as the industries. So we join so that we can have more fruitful product and processes in due course of time. So with this, I would like to brief you. It seems like more than 10,000 participants all over, like a footfall we experienced, though we do not have a quantitative number at this moment. But this has happened. This is just a glimpse of what we have exercised in these 3 days. And with this, I would like to thanks to our Honorable Secretary Donor that he accepted and he graced this today's function. And I would once again, I would like to welcome you all for this valedictory session, and thank you very much for your generous participation. And if there is any problem, I'm really feel sorry. And certainly in the next edition, in the next year or subsequent years, certainly if there will be any improvement is required, we will be going to review it, and we'll be going to see how we can make it best or better than this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Vimal Katia, sir, for sharing his views regarding NERC 2020. Now, I would like to request Sri Kailash Karthik, District Commissioner, Kamrup, and Chairperson of ABC 2022 to share his views about Assam Biotech Conclave 2022.
Chief guest of this August function, Sri Lok Ranjan, Union Secretary for Ministry of Donor, Professor T.G. Sitaram, Director, IIT Guwahati, Professor Vimal Katiyar, Convener of Northeast Research Conclave, invited panel speakers, Academy of IITGuwahati and other invited institutions, senior delegates, friends from the media, and the future of the Northeast and India, the young minds, students and scholars who have chosen to be part of this vibrant partnership for exchange of research and knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. How fast and how wonderful has this last 72 hours been? Never, and as the director and Professor Vimal Katiyar also mentioned, never has ever an event of this scale, this magnitude, especially an event that is meant to seed scientific temper, research mindset, and a spirit of inquiry, been conceived and pulled off in such a grand style in this part of the country. And as the Honorable Union Education Minister and the Honorable Chief Minister Assam both mentioned in their speeches, this is just the beginning. This event should not just be an annual event, but as envisaged by them, this should be the Davos of India. This should be the World Research Forum. The third edition of the Assam Biotech Conclave 2022 got a huge fillip, not just because it was inaugurated by Sri Dharmendra Pradhan and Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma in the Guwahati Biotech Park 2.5 days ago, but also because of the strong partnership and association that we had with IIT Guwahati and the Northeast Research Conclave. I place on record my deep sense of appreciation to Director IIT and his NERC organizing team, led by the indefatigable and ever-enthusiastic Professor Vimal Katiyar, for being so generous in their approach and partnering with Guwahati Biotech Park. We are extremely proud of our association with NERC 2022, and I sincerely believe that this marks a new chapter in the relationship between the Government of Assam and the crown jewel of the state of Assam, IIT Guwahati. The Assam Biotech Conclave also saw a number of significant milestones, including the throwing open of the sprawling campus of the Technology Incubation Center of Guwahati Biotech Park to the bright entrepreneurs of the state to set up their ventures, and the felicitation of the best scientific minds in the state, and awarding the best entrepreneurs of the year. Over the past two days, we also witnessed nearly 50 speakers, academicians, entrepreneurs, CEOs, investors, policy think tanks, doctors, industry evangelists, educationists, researchers, journalists, incubators, all engaging us in diverse topics, from the future of smart proteins or alternative meats, to leveraging the agri-tech sector for improving farm incomes, to evaluating the future of medtech in India, to understanding the challenges in doing business in India for startups, to uncovering what young India wants when it looks at entrepreneurship, where we had a really young entrepreneur enthrall us with his thoughts. By the way, when I meant young entrepreneur, I meant really young, because we had a young entrepreneur as young as 15 years who was moderating the session. We also had the investors pitching session, which gave an opportunity for the best ideas in the state to meet the best venture capitalists in the country. And I'm confident this is a beginning of an impactful journey for them. The Young Minds Challenge, launched as part of the Assam Biotech Conclave, saw school children bring out papers ranging from the use of artificial intelligence in healthcare, digital agriculture to the use of biofuels, etc. And the rich ideas and the smart presentation skills that we witness gives us a lot of inspiration and confidence. The Assam Bio-Innovation Research Fellowship, Government of Assam's flagship grant to researchers pursuing their research in biosciences, also saw huge participation. I congratulate all the winners, and we are very hopeful about the scientific future of the region. Personally, this event today and my presence here also brings back me some memories. About 2 years back, this day, I think my personal popularity, or should I say, my hate ratings in IIT went through the roof when we had to convert some of the iconic structures of this beautiful campus, the old and the new guest house and hostels, into COVID care centers on an emergency basis. I remember in one of the open forum discussions, I was asked rightfully by one of the agitated residents of IIT, when would district administration vacate the COVID care centers and when would we hand it back? And I responded rather annoyingly whenever IIT comes out with a COVID vaccine. It is interesting how times change and how under the Assam Advanced Health Innovation Institute, the MOU of which was signed during the inaugural of NERC, IIT might just come out with the next vaccine. It is a partnership of breathtaking magnitude, an enormous leap of faith, and an opportunity to redefine a sector. Something which is, I believe, as transformative as setting up IITs across India, if not more. I would like to thank and place my deep sense of gratitude to Professor Sitaram for his visionary thought and his able team, Professor Deepankar and Professor Iyer, for their passion and untiring efforts. After all, what is research in a public institution if it does not meet market demand or solve a public policy challenge? I remember how enthusiastically the chief guest of today's event, Sri Lok Ranjan, received the idea and pushed us to think more deeply when I met him a little over a month ago regarding this idea. With the support of everyone concerned, one hopes the partnership will disrupt healthcare service delivery, both at the first mile and also at the last mile, through innovative service delivery models, low-cost diagnostics, personalized health devices, advanced medical procedures, etc., all while holding the thought that the best research is the one that produces outcomes. I must also join hundreds of self-help group women in thanking IITGuwahati for providing an opportunity for making it possible for the yummy pitas made by our energetic women attain scale as part of NERC 2022. On behalf of the district administration, I would also throw open a challenge to the best and the brightest minds of IITGuwahati to explore solutions combining the best of design, packaging, and biosciences departments to increase the shelf life of these pitas so that they can go beyond Assam and to the food tables of every Indian. I would also request Director IIT Guwahati to consider collaborating with district administration in running a one-of-its-kind district innovation challenge with an objective to identify localized solutions, localized problems across sectors which are unique to Kamrup, one that the Sarkar or the Bazaar, government or the market economy cannot solve, but what the bright minds from the academia with the help of insights from the Samaj or the community can solve. Such an initiative will help IITGuwahati truly transcend the boundaries of academia and solve the problems of the region where you are situated and give a new meaning to the Honorable Prime Minister's clarion call, vocal for local. I would also congratulate the Director IIT and his team for coming out with an ambitious Guwahati Declaration, which I guess will get announced a few minutes from now, which sets a new benchmark for academic excellence and institutional collaboration. As CEO of Guwahati Biotech Park, I'm extremely proud to be partnering with IITGuwahati in this journey and look forward to working with you, sir, to make this declaration a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, I once again thank each one of you for the enthusiastic response to the Northeast Research Conclave 2022 and Assam Biotech Conclave 2022, and my deep appreciation and gratitude to the organizing teams of NERC and ABC, our sponsors and partners, and the numerous volunteers whose tireless efforts have paid rich dividends. I would also like to thank my team led by Ms. Preeti Kumari and the entire team of Guwahati Biotech Park for their untiring efforts, which has helped us pull through such an event of such magnitude. I would once again like to thank the Secretary Donor, Sri Lok Ranjan Ji, for sparing valuable time for the closing of these two events and for gracing the occasion and making it grand. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your insights about Assam Biotech Conclave 2022. Now I request Professor Parameshwar Iyer, Dean of Public Relation, Branding and Ranking, IIT Guwahati, to give information about the Guwahati Declaration.
So namaste and good evening to you all. Shri Lok Ranjan Ji, Secretary, Donor Ministry, Shri Kailash Karthik, DC Kamrup, and also CEO of Guwahati Biotech Park. He was also the co-convener of this event, and a lot of credit goes to him if this event is declared to be a success. So thank you, Kailash, for your effort and your support. Our director, Professor T.G. Sitaram, Professor Vimal Katiyar, who has not slept probably for the last week or so, he's the convener and the Dean Research and Development. He's here sitting here and give a nice overview of this event. I think he requires a big round of applause from you all. And all the participants who are here, who are in the stall. I know still people are winding up their stalls. I welcome you all once again for this event. As you all are aware, during the inaugural ceremony, the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, and the Education Minister, Government of India, Sri Dharmendra Pradhanji, they had unveiled the Guwahati Declaration. So that was the first draft of this declaration. And over the course of 4 to 5 days, we have been working on getting inputs from all the stakeholders who had participated in this event. We are very thankful to the heads of the institutes, the heads from various industries, PSUs, and all other stakeholders, even government agencies were there, both the state government and from the national government. I'll just go through the details, slide details that I have prepared. And all this has helped in improving the document. And today, at the end of the day, we have been able to draft a Guwahati Declaration, which will be unveiled completely in another 5 minutes. And it will be in the public domain also. And you all will be able to see, how much effort, how much work has gone to prepare this document and how it will transform or help in developing an ecosystem which will promote both innovation and entrepreneurship. So this entire idea of preparing this Guwahati Declaration was proposed by our Honorable Education Minister, Shri Dharmendra Pradhanji, during one of the review meetings. And we started working on preparing this document right from the same day. And it was discussed that we should release this document on the final day or in the concluding session of this conclave. So as such, 10 broad areas were identified, which are either based on the resources available in this region or those research topics which will help significantly in improving or providing socio-economic benefit to this region. I'll just read out the 10 broad topics. The first one is the biomedical and environmental devices, development of these kind of devices and their testing. The second point is the food processing technology. The third is advanced functional materials and biomaterials. The fourth is related to the traditional knowledge or drug discovery from natural resources. The fifth is the drone technology development and its application, a very crucial technology which has application in multiple sectors across this region. High altitude waste management. This was also discussed in various forums, including our defense personnel. The fossil fuel and alternative energy utilization and devices based on this kind of this technology. The geospatial technology. Livelihood projects, which is again one of the main sectors in this region. And the last one is to bring in automation in agriculture, in sericulture, and pisciculture. So as such, this is a very large document. I will not go through the entire thing. So this document as such was intended to promote research, to encourage innovation, startup ecosystem, and entrepreneurship, and would be a multi-stakeholder platform that would address societal problems in the region and beyond this region. So this was a specific point that was mentioned, that it should not be limited only to the northeast states, but also it should have impact across the country. So one of the goals that was mentioned is to have at least 100 startups should be initiated through this Guwahati Declaration within the next 3 years. There should be at least 100 doctoral students that have to be added within the same period, and the necessary ecosystem to support as well as to ensure that this happens, must be provided. Now, to ensure that this is a success, a team of advisors and consultants consisting of expert groups and subgroups from all sectors, that includes the academia, industry, various research laboratories in this region, funding agencies, government officials, and all other stakeholders, they will be brought up together on the same platform. We'll have another meeting, we are terming it like a meetup, like a startup. And the culture of this innovation and entrepreneurship will be spread across the region as soon as possible. So I'm really very happy to share with you all that this declaration document was also edited very carefully by none other than our Honorable Chief Minister, whom we had the honor to meet last evening. Just before he was about to board the flight, we had a almost half an hour meeting, and line by line he has read this document, he has given very crucial suggestions, even that have been incorporated. And we really are thankful to the minister who was even consulting his team in the ministry, and they gave us very, very crucial feedbacks and suggestions. So once again, I thank the Honorable Minister of Education, Sri Dharmendra Pradhanji, for his very valuable suggestions. Further, the document was also verified by Sri Sanjay Murthy ji, who is the Secretary of Ministry of Education. He was there with us till today afternoon. He left just before lunch. This was also shared with Sri Lok Ranjan ji yesterday night, and he has also gone through the document, has given his feedback. And lot of other faculty members, lot of other heads of the institutes, and many of the other participants. So I once again thank all for their valuable feedback, so that this document has come to shape today. I would also like to thank our director, Professor T.G. Sitaram, who was always encouraging and very kind to provide his expert comments in every version of the document that has been prepared. And then without his support and his encouragement, this document would not have taken shape today. Finally, with these brief comments, I would now request our team to bring up the Guwahati Declaration, so the dignitaries on the dais can release it and it can go to the public domain. Thank you very much.
I thank all the dignitaries for releasing the Guwahati Declaration. I now request today's chief guest, Sri Lok Ranjan, who is the Secretary of Ministry of Donor, Government of India, to address the gathering.
Kailash had come and met me in Delhi and sensitized me to what is being attempted. And I must say that based on their conversations, Professor Katiyar also spoke to me, and what came through all of this was a vibe that prompted me to say that I'll certainly be here. I was only worried that some other responsibilities may prevent me from joining this. I'm thankful that it did not happen so, and I've been able to make it. The NERC 2022 has come at a very opportune time in the collective life of our nation. We are in the middle of celebrations of our Hazarika Amrit Mahotsav, which also includes celebrations of our collective scientific, technological, and innovation achievements, which are no doubt very impressive and widely acknowledged. I think everyone present here needs to give each other a very big hand for what we have been able to achieve in the 75 years of our national independence. This event, which is a first-time event of its kind, and we have already heard that this is not going to be the last, is apart from celebration and acknowledgement, this is also an exploration together of what has been happening in the science, technology, and innovation sectors, and what should we look forward to and plan for as we progress ahead. What I have seen in course of my 2 days, nearly 2 days on the campus, has made me excited and filled me with childlike enthusiasm. All this is thanks to the energy that I found in each one of the stakeholders that are present here, for which again I would convey my congratulations and compliments to the organizers, the organizing teams, led by the dignitaries on the dais. So the vibe that I get by standing here and earlier by participating in the various events, discussions, etc., is being at a stadium where a final event is going to be held. And everyone is agog. Everyone wants to watch this. And since this is a final race, there's going to be one winner only. But this race that we are sort of entering is not going to be a single race. There's not going to be only Usain Bolt, but the possibility is that there are going to be many Usain Bolts at the end of the race that we are entering now. This is exciting. The challenge that has been thrown to me is actually very daunting, that I have to address a gathering that is as knowledgeable and as energetic, as training at the leash to sprint ahead. Yeah, as I said, I feel a little daunted. So what I propose to do is not to address you. This is not a one-way communication, a prescription that I would want to make. This may please be deemed as an expression of the collective thoughts and expectations of a proud nation and its residents from the Northeast. This is an appeal to all the thought leaders, innovators, and contributors to the progress of this region and the country that I propose to make. The first point that I would put forth for the notice and consideration of this community is that in our evolution as a human society, a modern society as we call ourselves, what has brought us this far has been broadly mentioned as ages. There has been an industrial age, there has been a digital age. All these have revolutionized the way we humans have lived and conducted our activities, making lives easier as we have gone along. Right now, we are in the middle of a really exciting age of interconnectivity, which we offer term as hyperconnectivity. This does not only have the potential, but is already making a difference all around. We are realizing a true sense of living in a global village. This is a term that has been in use for a few decades, if not more, but this is slowly getting converted into a reality all around us. The reach and access of various types is becoming universal. The distances are actually going down, these are disappearing. The delivery time for any activity, any purchase is potentially instant, and the costs are becoming really affordable. Now, we stand at a crossroads where whatever difference has been made by all the previous revolutions are going to be accelerated and also multiplied within a short time through this hyperconnectivity that we are talking of. And therefore, what we are embarking upon now, here today, is also a great challenge, but also a great event, as has been mentioned, a historic event, not to be forgotten in the annals of IIT Guwahati for sure, but I'm sure it will be remembered also as the beginning of the real revolution that all of us have been looking forward to in the northeastern region and even beyond. Now, the community is therefore looking at this with great expectations. I'll just cite those expectations. I'm sure that this August gathering is aware of those, but as I said, I come here as the ambassador of the community at large, and this is not a technical address or prescription. This is an entreaty to this August gathering to look at the interests of the common man around. So, what I would therefore mention first is that as we move on this path, we should keep the community as the context. And this is not a revolutionary thought. This has been realized for a very, very long time. We have heard of Mahatma Gandhi's talisman, which asked us to think of the poorest of the poor. We should remember where all of us have risen from. If at this moment, just for a few seconds, we go back and look at what has made us come here and stand here as the thought leaders, as those who have the confidence to commit to the betterment of our communities. All of us would have started from much humbler beginnings, but have benefited from what others have done for us. Similarly, the idea that has been sown here should be allowed to grow to its fullest through adoption in a manner where the society and communities also find it of value. Our Indian philosophical system actually enjoin upon us to not be merely pursuing success and betterment in individual sense, in that way, it is much different from the Western concept of success. We remain connected to our predecessor and successor generations even as we pursue our betterment. For us, space-wise, it is not merely individual glory that we pursue, and temporally, we do not pursue the best only in the present. So, this is the first expectation that I wanted to place for everyone to consider as they embark on this journey. The second expectation is in terms of the approach that we follow, and that is a plea to follow a convergent approach. This is true not only of scientific pursuits, because it is us who have sought to divide and manage the range of human endeavors and human thought processes by dividing them into subjects. But human intellect is integral. It has to be considered in its entirety, not in a unidimensional manner. So, as we think of scientific and research development and harnessing it for the betterment of the northeastern region and beyond, my request would be to also integrate humanities, data, analytics, policy research and planning, especially to fill in the gaps that we see around us as we go along. A third expectation is already taking place, so I will just register this. See, we will be well served if our endeavors are not top-driven, prescriptive. These have to move from grassroots upwards, and we are seeing it even in technology. So our most far-reaching technologies are actually cellular. These start off as microgrids which can connect to each other and then assemble a mega grid and metaverses. So the collaboration, a networked way of doing our research, identifying problems, and attempting solutions to those is the call or the need of the hour. This is going to be facilitated by the technologies that we already have. This can be done online. And this should touch teachers, students, community, and thought leaders everywhere. A fourth request is that our interventions have to be considered. Many a times, these will have to be targeted to the problems that the society, the community faces for itself. I remember when we were young and we were growing, and I was also a beneficiary of studying in an institution like this. An allegation that was often thrown at the institutes like IITs, what was that these have become, what I have heard being said, as professorial ivory towers, meaning thereby that what gets discussed, what gets shared, what gets studied, researched in premier institutions of the country had no link to the real life situations. Now, that was then. But since I have been exposed to that, I just thought I will wave a flag here that in our endeavors as we go ahead, we should not miss the key problems that any society or community is facing, and our research should be focused very sharply. See, what we in our parlance call Arjun की तरह से उनको देखना है हमें. And if you look around, there are going to be several such candidates for research and projectization, which the communities in the Northeast in particular are facing. I can name many. 10 areas have already been identified and shared and are going to be shared as part of the declaration. But without trying to add to this in an unmanageable way, I think even today, when we think of communities in the Northeast, there are communities which are living in areas which do not have access to power, which do not have access to drinking water, which are devoid of reliable road networks, which do not have telecom, internet, broadband facilities, which do not have standard primary education. We know of so many reports which say that our children who have cleared class 5, their learning outcomes are actually equal to class 1 students. Those who have passed class 8, their learning outcomes are class 2 and class 3. There are communities who are living without access to quality health care. Now, these are some of the very basic minimum services and requirements that each one of us expects. क्या आप ये इमेजिन कर सकते हैं कि आप किसी ऐसी जगह में रहेंगे जहाँ रोड ना हो, जहाँ पीने का पानी नहीं हो, जहाँ रात को बिजली नहीं हो, और सबसे बड़ा अगर आपको इंटरनेट, ब्रॉडबैंड, मोबाइल इस सब से दूर कर दिया जाए. हम तो शहर के बीच में रहते हुए अगर आपका मेरा मोबाइल 2-3 दिन पहले क्रैश कर गया उसका, तो मैं बेचैन रहा 2 दिन तक. सो रात को 9:30 बजे निकल के वी परचेज्ड अ न्यू डिवाइस कि कहीं से लेना है हमको, उसके बिना कैसे चलेगा. Now there are communities who can't even imagine this. Now this is serious for one reason, and this is a point that I really want to raise. पहले भी ऐसा होता था कि सबको एक बराबर सुविधाएं नहीं होती थी, अंतर होता था, होना नहीं चाहिए था उस समय भी. पर if we keep some people deprived of these basic prerequisites to progress, the differences are going to be accentuated. पहले भी लोगों को कुछ सुविधा नहीं है, ठीक है, वो कम कमा रहे थे, कुछ और लोग ज़्यादा कमा रहे थे हमारे जैसे, जिनको कुछ सुविधाएं मिल गई, कुछ बेहतर जगह में रहने लग गए, पर अंतर उतने ज़्यादा नहीं होते थे. Now we have talked of the hyper-connected world. This is going to make a difference. Someone who is hyper-connected has access to what is being, say, transacted in any corner of the world, in the US, anywhere. People are attending courses which are Harvard and MIT courses. And then there is a community which does not have access to power. वहाँ इंटरनेट नहीं है, उनको पता भी नहीं हार्वर्ड क्या होता है, MIT क्या होता है. You know, for one of our projects, we were setting up a common service center in a remote area. So these people came and asked कि ये आप क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ से, इससे हमें क्या फ़ायदा होगा. हमने कहा तुम कहीं भी कनेक्ट कर सकते हो, कोर्स का तुम्हें बच्चे पढ़ सकते हैं, तुमको पासपोर्ट के लिए अप्लाई करना होगा तो तुम ऑनलाइन करोगे. तो बोला सर आपने हमारा घर देखा है क्या, टूटा फूटा, मतलब वो लकड़ी बांस का घर है हमारा. हमारे गांव में एक राशन शॉप दिलवा दीजिए तो हमको सामान उठा के ऊपर नीचे नहीं करना होगा. कुछ पीने के पानी की व्यवस्था कर दीजिए और कुछ काम की व्यवस्था कर दीजिए, हमको ये सब नहीं चाहिए. वी डोंट नीड अ पासपोर्ट, वी डोंट नीड हार्वर्ड एंड MIT कोर्सेज, वी नीड बेसिक ड्रिंकिंग वाटर, we need basic income. So this sensitization of the fact that we are actually, there are two worlds that exist here. हम जिस दुनिया में रह रहे हैं वो दुनिया अलग है, वो जिस दुनिया में रह रहे हैं वो दुनिया अलग है. So we think that we have progressed, we are matching developed countries, which is true, we are doing that. But at the same time, when we think of research, when we think of scientific contribution to progress, when we think of what all of us can put our minds to and earn for improving the ease of living for our people, please do keep in mind these challenges and these communities. I would be very, very encouraged if at the next conclave that is being talked of, when we come, I would be very happy if I can hear that the initiatives taken as a follow-up to this conclave are resolving some of these problems for those who have been deprived of what we presume as a given in our lives. A final expectation and request is, as we change everything around us with the help of our abilities, our research, our technologies, we should bring about this change with care. Conserving the environment, conserving our planet has to be a conscious element of whatever we are trying to do. We are already seeing the after effects of rampant, thoughtless resource use, development, and, for example, the natural calamities are increasing. Assam has been seeing floods, but Delhi we have seen temperatures which are close to 50 degrees, 49 degrees after maybe a century. And that too in beginning of May. The real summertime in Delhi is end May, June. So this is not just nature playing truant. It is being compelled to behave in a way because of our depredations. So we have to be conscious of this. As they say, that the earth does not belong to man. The man belongs to the earth. The earth does not exist to fulfill all our needs and greeds. We have to realize that we live on the earth as one of the species, and each of our actions, each of its consequences are going to be interconnected. So please look at interventions, at changes that you bring along with this care. Now, as we stand charged to meet the challenges in a manner that we think appropriate, what is going to be most important is to keep the compass well oriented. This is the foremost prerequisite. Now, I talked of Usain Bolt, but imagine what will happen that all of us are sitting to watch the race, and there are 6 or 8 participants at the starting line, all Usain Bolts or their equivalents. And as the starter gun goes, everyone starts running in a direction that he or she chooses. Everyone is running helter-skelter. Or maybe a funny thought at this juncture. But you convert this race to the race for human development. And now the funny element goes away. This can have disastrous consequences, because we are all trying to run a race in the way we think is most appropriate on a planet that does not have infinite capacity to meet our whims. So, therefore, let us take this opportunity of organizing a successful conclave here to also pause and think collectively as to how we should direct our endeavors hereafter. We improve, we bring ease of doing business, ease of living to all our citizens, but also in a manner so that it does not endanger our very existence on this planet. Now, what will enable us to think in a way that I have just laid out, and this is the final thought after the expectations. So the answer to this lies in how we think about development, growth, success. See, economic development is important and essential, but this cannot be the sole determinant of what is development, what is success. Our definition of growth cannot just be material well-being, but this has to be a holistic ideal. Now, I have great expectations of the youth and the incoming generation, including the youth in the faculty of IIT Guwahati, who I have had interactions with. See, we have been hearing this term in his references to the northeastern region states. Honorable Prime Minister has represented them as Ashtalakshmi or Ashtalakhi, as it will be called. Now, this is a coincidence that the number of the northeastern states is also 8. So it is tempting for us to go for a simplistic interpretation that Ashtalakshmi means 8 states and treat these 8 states as the jewels of the Indian national crown. However, in our traditional way of thinking, in our treatises, Ashtalakshmi or the 8 wealths are different types of wealths, which includes material wealth. Dhanalakshmi, so is one of the 8 Lakshmis. Quite unlike the Western so-called modern way of life, which is based almost entirely on material wealth. As we are experiencing, this individual pursuit of only material wealth is not sustainable. This is leading to several problems that are being manifested. So Ashtalakshmi is an integrated concept of wealth anywhere, 8 states or 6 states or 1 state. This tells us that wealth is much bigger than only money. It is an energy and a sense of well-being that is bestowed upon us. And it is manifested in the complete spiritual and material well-being of humans. For example, one of the wealth or the Lakshmis is cited to be Adi Lakshmi. Adi Lakshmi is our connectedness to the source, to our roots, to remember how we have reached here. That is a wealth in the way we think about it. That's what I had said at the beginning, that when we think of development, we think of our preceding generations, predecessor generations, and of our successor generations. Similarly, knowledge, skills, and talents also form a wealth. This is also Lakshmi for us. This is Vidya Lakshmi. So Vidya Lakshmi is part of Ashtalakshmi. So what I mean to say, similarly, success and achievements would be Bhagya Lakshmi, etc. So as I said, let us realize that the Western way of pursuit of happiness, of wealth, is incomplete and it is imperfect. We should not, as we decide to research, as we decide to progress, as we decide to bring ease of living to our people, be misled in pursuing only material well-being. This is another thought that I wanted to share here. As you set out to bring about a major difference through collective effort, through hyperconnectivity, in consequence of the completion of a really successful NERC, ABC. I would want to leave you with this thought. So where does all this lead us? I've been talking of Usain Bolt, I've talked of Ashtalakshmi, and you will be thinking, how is that related to the conclave that we just had, and a successful one at that? What I am trying to suggest is we should inherently realize that excellence of Usain Bolt is not through instantaneous emergence. Usain Bolt ने कोई अवतार नहीं लिया कि धरती पर वो एक वैसे का वैसा बना हुआ उतरा हो, ऐसा नहीं है. But it is a culmination of serious collective efforts and directive, progressive steps that would have been taken by so many of those who would be leading him. It is this that will lead to the emergence of champions here also. This collective partnerships, the single-minded focus on what we want to achieve will lead IIT Guwahati and its partners, other institutions of this region, to success. But a success that is defined by thinking of how we are contributing to bring about the changes in the lives of millions of people who are where what we would call the bottom. Do our research and innovations make a difference in their lives? As they say, will our efforts become the tide that will lift every boat? आज हम जब ये खुशी मना रहे हैं और हमको पूरा अधिकार है कि हम एक सफल एनक्लेव के आयोजन के बाद खुशी मनाएं, हमको ये प्रतिज्ञा भी लेनी होगी कि इसके बाद में जब हम अपने कर्तव्यों पर आएंगे तो हम ये नहीं भूलेंगे कि इस समाज की, हमारे आसपास की कम्युनिटीज़ की हमसे क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं और हम उसको कैसे करने की कोशिश करेंगे जिससे कि जो हमारा प्रयत्न है वो हमारे वातावरण को, हमारी धरती को और नुकसान ना पहुंचाए, उसका संरक्षण करने में मददगार हो. Let us not restrict our definition of growth and our efforts to only material well-being. I have no doubt that IIT Guwahati, which is a center of excellence in the northeastern region, is poised to play this larger role together with the sister institutions and participants of this conclave, of whom I am sure the next year will see a much larger participation. On our part, the Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region is willing to be a partner, and we hope to be a solid partners in aiming for the transformation of the Northeastern region through accelerated and participatory development. Just a small remark about how Ministry of Donor operates. Ministry of Donor is the only ministry of the Government of India which has a territorial jurisdiction. Each of the other ministries is assigned a thematic sectoral role. So all the other ministries have a narrow role, but that spreads territorially to every state and UT of the country. We have limited jurisdiction in terms of the northeastern region, 8 states, but then we can actually help in progress in any of the thematic sectors. At the Ministry of Donor, we have identified infrastructure, social development, and income and livelihoods as the three broad categories where we would want to make a difference. And if the efforts of this entire team of the NERC, the Conclave, IIT Guwahati and everyone else are directed at any of those three priorities that I have identified in some way, and it will be, we will be pleased to stand together in the efforts that are being undertaken by the IIT Guwahati. I'll pause here, but not before requesting everyone who's trying to make a difference in the lives of the people in this region, ease of living, that please don't forget the community that we are trying to serve together. And please also don't forget that our success is to be measured by the traditional concept of success, the traditional concept of wealth, the Ashtalakshmi. I'm sure it will take you far ahead. I'm sure it will give, over the long run, this will give you much more satisfaction than what mere earning of material wealth will bring to you. Thank you for having me here, and thanks a lot for hearing to me patiently. It has been a pleasure, and I leave with a commitment that we will be with you together from the Ministry of Donor. And as the coordinator with the other ministries, please also touch base with us if you have to, at any point in time, reach out to ministries other than Ministry of Donor. Thanks a lot. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Sri Lokranjan sir, for addressing the gathering. Now, I would request Professor T.G. Sitaram to present the awards for best exhibitors from different sessions of NERC 2022. The team led by Professor Perumal decided the awards under different categories. So I would also like to call the exhibitors of NERC 2022 to receive their awards on the dais. So the best awards of exhibitors on different categories goes to, among NITs goes to NIT Shilchar. The next award goes to, among research institutes, Institute of Advanced Studies in Science and Technology, IIT Guwahati. Again, sorry, it's Institute of Advanced Studies in Science and Technology, Guwahati. ISST, Guwahati. Can anyone collect behalf of IIT Guwahati? Okay. Next, CSR Northeast Institute of Science and Technology, Jorhat.
Among the universities, the award goes to Bodoland University. Among the private universities, the award goes to Assam Royal Global University. Under BioNest, the award goes to Northeastern Hill University.
Now I request Sri Kailash Kartik sir to present the award for best exhibitors under grassroots research. So the award goes to Kavi Krishnan Laboratory. The next award goes to Pitha Production Self-Help Group, which is led by 700 women and 75 SHGs of Kamrup district. So to receive the award, I call on stage Mona Lisa BPM and few other SHG members. Now I would request Sri Kailash Kartik sir, DC Kamrup, to please give Pitha boxes and water hyacinth bag to all the dignitaries made by SHG's members. इसके बाद आ जाइए. I request Kavi Krishna Laboratory Group to take the award.
Under the startups, the award goes to Advancing Northeast and Dong Valley Creations Private Limited. The representatives of the startups are requested to be ready.
So I request Dong Valley Creations to receive their award. Dong Valley. I request Advancing Northeast to receive their awards.
Among the professional organizations, the award goes to Oil India Limited. So the representatives of Oil India Limited are requested to come near the stage. Next, Numaligarh Refinery Limited Star Cement. Numaligarh Refinery Limited Star Cement. Yeah. The next award goes to The next award goes to Mayuri Furnitures. I announced
the Best Exhibitor Award goes to Mayuri Furnitures among professional organizations.
I request the representatives of Numaligarh Refinery Limited Star Cement to collect their award.
I would like to request Limited Star Cement among professional organizations to take their Best Category Exhibitor Award. Among government organizations, I would like to call Department of Atomic Energy. The Best Exhibitor Award among government organizations goes to Department of Atomic Energy. The next policy-making organizations are being called for their Best Exhibitor Awards. So, Northeastern Development Finance Corporation Limited, NEDFI. Please come to the stage, near the stage for collecting your award. The next policy-making organization award goes to Federation of Industry and Commerce of Northeast Region, FINER. The Best Exhibitor Award for Policymaking Organization goes to Northeastern Development Finance Corporation Limited. The Best Exhibitor Award for Policymaking Organization goes to Federation of Industry and Commerce of Northeast Region, FINER. Next, the Best Exhibitor Award for Innovation for Future goes to Numaligarh Refinery Limited. The Best Exhibitor Award for Innovation for Future goes to Maligarh Refinery Limited. Next, the 3D Cement Printing Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Guwahati. The Best Exhibitor Award for Innovation for Future goes to 3D Cement Printing Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Guwahati. Next, the Best Exhibitor Award for Innovation for Future goes to National Institute of Pharmaceuticals, Education and Research, Guwahati. The Best Exhibitor Award for Innovation for Future goes to National Institute of Pharmaceuticals, Education and Research, Guwahati. Now I request our dignitaries to present the awards for Young Minds Challenge for different sessions. Assam Biotech Conclave organized a Young Minds Challenge contest for school students across Assam, out of which 11 finalists were selected who presented their ideas in front of a jury on 5 different themes. I would like to call all the participants in the stage to take the awards and stay back for the group photo. So, the names are here for the Young Mind Challenge. Axel Public School, Khairab Diori. Axel Public School, Khairab Diori. Damdama HS School, Debashish Kalita, Kapil Mahanta, Nibir Das, Nikhil Kakoti, Pranjit Kalita. If anyone is present to take on their behalf, anyone can come. Then DPS ONGC Nazira, Ghanibhuti Gogoi, Harshit Kalita, Pujana P. Nath, Riddhiman Chetia, Zidan Khan. Faculty Higher Secondary School, Devanga Kalita, Maitri Madhukulla, Shara Shavan, Upendra Das. Next, Faculty High Secondary School, Hardik Datta. Then IIT Guwahati, Diya Nag, Reshma Yadav, Rupa Das. Maharshi Vidya Mandir Senior Secondary School, Harshita Kashyap, Shekhar Ranjan Bezbarua, Sumedha Roy. Sai RNS Academy, Adinath Kavle, Raktim Majumdar. Now, I would like to announce the name of the winners of Young Minds Challenge. So, the third winner goes to KV Guwahati. Anuradha P. Iyer, Pranamita Saikia, Vaishnavi Tripathi. The third winner goes to KV Guwahati, Anuradha P. Iyer, Pranamita Saikia, Vaishnavi Tripathi. I would like to announce the second winner of the Young Minds Challenge, DPS ONGC Nazira, Barnil M. Barua, Bidushikar Chetia, Avipriya Borkakuti, Pragyan Bora, Suraj Maurya. So the second winner goes to DPS ONGC Nazira, Barnil M. Barua, Bidushikar Chetia, Avipriya Borkakuti, Pragyan Bora, Suraj Maurya. Now the first winner goes to Axel Public School, Ashif Iftiar Rahman. The first prize goes to Axel Public School, Ashif Iftiar Rahman. Now I request the dignitaries to present the awards for Assam Bioinnovation Fellowship. The award goes to N. Sanjeev Maitei and Imnaro IITG Guwahati. From these are the incubators of Guwahati Biotech Park. The Best Assam Bioinnovation Award, Fellowship Award goes to N. Sanjeev Maitei and Imnaro from IITG Guwahati. I would request all the participants to stay back in the stage for a group photo.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Now I will be announcing the Best Paper Award, and the participants, I'm requesting you to come to the stage, but your awards will be given off stage. So I will be announcing these names. Umang H. Rathor and team, Karan Kumar and team, Ravi and Animesh Kumar Golder, Abhrodip Pal and Chandan Das, Upasana Chetri, Ishan Harit and Sukanya Sharma, Surya HR, Akhilesh Kumar Maurya and Srinivas S. Arkatkar, Bandita Ravidas and team, Richa Parashar and team, Smriti and Mriganka Madhu Kalya, Alok Senapati and team, Biplab Chandra Sarkar and team, Sukumar Purohit and his team, Ginisha Kalsi, Ashish Kundu and his team, Nilanjana Nandi and team, Mansi Chopra and team, Shreyangsha Sharma and his team, Vinny Kohli and his team, Anindita Saikia and his team and her team, Lakshmi Raman and team, Firdaus Rahman Gayan and team, T. Roshini and team, Akashdeep Hazarika and team, Tanya Swaminathan and team, Pravin Singha K. Solanki, Devdutt Sengupta and team, Somnath Mahato and team, Dhirendra Kumar Verma and team, Nabanita Maiti and team, Upasana Sarma and team, Praveenji Ingol and his team. You are requested to come to the stage.
All the participants and winners are congratulated.
Congratulations to all the winners as well as all the participants.
Thank you all the dignitaries for presenting the awards to the participants.
Just say that certificates can be taken from US Dictate. Certificates can be taken from US Dictate now.
All the participants are requested to collect their certificates from Professor U.S. Dikshit.
No, just after this function, I will be here itself. Please collect the certificates from me. Okay.
Now I request Professor
Professor Shubhendu Shekhar Bag, Associate Dean of R&D and co-convener of NERC 2022, to give the vote of thanks.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahabirayam Karabhabahe Tejushina Bhathimustu Ma Vidvisabahe. Om Santi Santi Santihi. Respected Chief Guest, Sri Lok Ranjan Ji, Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Donor, guest of Professor T.G. Sitaram Ji, Chairman NERC 2022, Sri Kailash Kartik Ji, Chairperson Assam Biotech Conclave 2022, my dear colleague Professor Bimal Katihar, Convener NERC 2022, and other dignitaries of the dais, participants, delegates, my fellow colleagues, dear students, staff members, and those who were unable to join physically due to natural calamity and enjoying the live streaming of the program. A very good evening to all of you. Innovative research and development guarantees to fulfill the basic needs of human society in physical stratum and creates quality human resources, ultimately leading to the attainment of a symbiotic society. Sarkar's thought demands bringing all the research, innovation, ideas, and human resources onto a common platform. Being the growing ambassador of innovative translational research and development, the Indian Institute of Technology Guwahati is tirelessly playing a pivotal role in providing leadership for uplifting the resourceful Northeast India to self-sustain and achieve a prominent position in the global scenario. Untiring efforts towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, celebration of Hazarika Amrit Mahotsav from various corners, thoughts of Honorable Minister of Education and Skill Development Entrepreneurship, Government of India, Sri Dharmendra Pradhanji, and inspirational leadership of the Director IITGuwahati ultimately triggered to hold Northeast Research Conclave 2022 along with Assam Biotech Conclave 2022, first of its kind, which we all have been witnessing since last 3 days. I feel honored and privileged to be here in this closing ceremony of the conclave to express my sincere gratitude to all of you. On behalf of the entire organizing team, I, from my core of heart, would like to express my sincere gratitude to the advisory board member, Sri Lok Ranjanji, Secretary, Ministry of Donor, Government of India, for his gracious presence in this closing ceremony and providing continuous guidance and support to organize Northeast Research Conclave 2022 and Assam Biotech Conclave 2022. I express my deepest sense of thankfulness to all the ministerial dignitaries, Sri Dharmendra Pradhanji, Honorable Union Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma-ji, Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Sri Sarbananda Sonowal-ji, Honorable Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways and Ayush, Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh-ji and Dr. Subhash Sarkar-ji, Honorable Minister of States for Education, Government of India, Sri Rameshwar Teli-ji, Honorable Minister of State, Petroleum and Natural Gas and Labor and Employment, Government of India, Sri Keshav Mahanta-ji, Honorable Minister of Health, Government of Assam, Dr. Ranoj Pegu-ji, Honorable Minister of Education, Government of Assam, Srimati Queen Ojha-ji, Honorable Minister of Parliament, Assam, Sri Kormolodi Bhutia-ji, Honorable Minister of Forest, Environment and Wildlife, Mines, Minerals and Geology and Science and Technology, who witnessed and adorned the memorable inaugural function of NERC 2022. I'm also very much thankful to all the heads of the institutions and research organizations of Northeast India who have graced NERC 2022 as co-coordinators. Overwhelming supports in organizing NERC 2022 roadshow as the promotional activity either by their own or through our team are really appreciated and acknowledged. Dear sirs, madams, without your support, we are unable to witness a huge participants, as was told, more than 10,000 participants. Words are not enough to thank their constant guidance and support to shape the conclave. We are also grateful to all the advisory board members of this conclave for their valuable support, help, and time-to-time advices. Participants from IITs, NITs, IIITs, CFTIs, research organizations such as Ministry of Health, Ministry of Textile, DST, DBT, ISRO, CSIR, CPET, Tata Research Board, TERI, CFUs, and other institutions, universities from Northeast and around the country were witnessed in the conclave. Exhibitors from academia, industry, MSME, startups, defense sector, Indian Army, and others were actively participated and showcased their R&D activities, indigenous products and services. The conclave was also adorned and enjoyed by more than 2,500 school students and 200 teachers from over 100 schools from Northeast. I extend my sincere gratitude to all the honorable delegates and participants who blessed us with their joyous and valuable presence and time. The conclave witnessed various scientific and technological derivation sessions on chosen thematic areas encompassing the Sustainable Development Goals. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all the speakers, panelists, for their valuable, thought-provoking scientific and technological deliberations. We had taken special efforts to inspire and inculcate scientific ethos amongst young school children through hands-on training on global battery experiment and teacher training program in collaboration with Royal Society of Chemistry, UK. I extend my sincere gratitude to all the members of Royal Society of Chemistry for their untiring support to this conclave. I would like to appreciate the presence and active involvement of schools heads, teachers, students, and parents for attending this training session and being a part of the program. We are grateful to Springer Nature for accepting our selected full papers from 16 technical sessions to publish in a 16-volume proceedings of NERC 2022. Also, we thank them for providing certificate awards for the Best Poster Prize. I would like to sincerely thank and show my respect to all the cultural troops from northeastern states and also to the 5-star Army Band who has graced the conclave with their wonderful musical tunes. I would like to extend my acknowledgement and thanks for the support from various ministries and the sponsorship from several organizations and industries. I extend my heartiest thanks to all the IIT Guwahati administration, deans, sections, staffs, heads of different departments, heads of different centers, faculty members, department centers, schools, and students for their hard work, patience, management, and successful executions of the event. It would have been impossible without the cooperation of the whole IIT Guwahati family to execute an event of such a large scale. I also would like to extend appreciations to all the committee members, either as co-coordinators or coordinators or student volunteers. About 20 committees involvement with 200 faculty and 600 students were actively involved to give the shape of a kind. I would also like to thank all the security team, maintenance team, logistics suppliers, medical team, food suppliers, broadcasting team for their constant support throughout the event, as they played a crucial role in smooth running of the conclave. I extend my thanks to GNRC, Apollo, and IIT Guwahati Hospital team for their emergency medical support. Sincere thanks goes to the team members from Guwahati Biotech Park for their untiring efforts for the success of joint events NERC 2022 and ABC 2022. Also, I express my gratitude to the district administration of Kamrup for their support in the conclave. I would like to extend my gratitude to all the members directly or indirectly involved in the NERC 2022 for their support and successful completion of this mega event. I would like to thank our very own Honorable Director, Sir Professor T.G. Sitaramji. Without his guidance, blessings, and leadership, this conclave would not have been possible. I believe all of your stay during NERC 2022 at IIT Guwahati has been pleasant. I also believe that the conclave has been eventful for all. This conclave, in true sense, paved the way for handholding amongst the academia, research organizations, industries, entrepreneurs, and startups towards translational research and innovations to reach the goals of establishing sustainable society and symbiotic society. Considering the philosophy, as Sir rightly told, Lokranjanji told already, that following the neo-humanistic path, love for all created being in the universe, both animate and inanimate. Sir, Northeastern region is looking for the support from your donor ministry, and we would follow your advice while working towards the economic growth. We will remember that we belong to earth. Earth does not belong to us. Thank you all. At last, Sarve Sukhina Bhavantu, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pushyantu, Ma Kaschistu Duksumapnuat, Om Santi, Santi, Santihi. Let everybody be happy. Let everybody be free from all psychic ailments. Let everybody see the bright side of everything. Let nobody suffer from any trouble under pressure or circumstances. Namaskar, Jai Hind.
I once again thank all the dignitaries for gracing the valedictory session of Northeast Research Conclave 2022 with their presence. And I request everyone to proceed for the refreshments placed at the conference center and in the auditorium. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.